All right, so today I'm gonna show you how to make this incredible lace paneled dress. This is super easy to update a dress you might already have in your closet. You're gonna make it instantly holiday ready. If you caught my segment the other day on Home and Family, you saw that we totally ran out of time, and so you may not have actually seen how to do it. And this is incredibly simple, so I wanna make sure that you see it. So let's get started. Here is our simple dress. You guys can do this to something that you already own in your closet. I happened to buy this dress just recently, like right around Thanksgiving time at H&M. I loved it because it's got just a teeny bit of silver in it, which works perfectly with the lace that I bought. But you guys can easily do this on a really simple and structured dress that you already own. That'll save you even more money. So what you need here, this is called tacky spray. It's basically spray glue, and this stuff is fantastic, so we're gonna be using this. You're also gonna need a needle and thread. I happen to like this clear thread because when you're using lace sometimes has an iridescent quality, and when you use a matte thread, you're gonna see each one of those little tacks. So if you can get your hands on some clear thread, that's fantastic. You may want some gloves. Oh, Bubba, the baby's waking. You may want some gloves, and that will help from getting the glue on your hands. And then last up, you just need your lace. So I highly recommend using lace trim as opposed to going and buying a couple of yards of lace fabric. As you can see with lace trim, it's got a double scalloped edge. This right here is the scallop, and that's really it's that finish on lace that we all love so much. And you wanna have, when you have it double like that on a trim, it saves you buying yards of fabric and cutting that off of your lace. So it kind of saves you a step and it saves you money. If you happen to buy a lace that only has one side scalloped, like this one does here, just keep in mind you're gonna need double. You're gonna need to buy enough to cover wherever you're gonna go, plus enough to do the back side. So you wanna look for something with double scalloped edges. It's just gonna save you money and time. First thing you're gonna do is pick your placement. This is really the fun part because you get to sort of design your own dress. Let's say you wanted to do it center front. Take a look and pin it. This is how it would look if you did center front. Let's say you wanted to go just simply around the waist. You could go around the waist. These are all the different ways that you're gonna be able to apply this, and it really depends on your body type and what's gonna look most flattering on you. I'm gonna show you how to do the dress I did, which is right here on the side. So this is so easy, so easy. It's criminal, I tell you. All right, so you're gonna lay this on right here. I like to center it in between these 2 points because we've got that natural slope. Why not center it? Okay, so now you're gonna start pinning it into place. This is where you are really gonna make sure that everything is even, because this is obviously before you actually do any sewing or spraying. So take a look here. You wanna make sure both those sides are even. You wanna make sure that where the scalloped edge comes up is at a flattering point in the front, from the front of the dress. This is where you really kind of tweak and make sure it's perfect. So then work your way down. You can see the seam, the center seam right down the side here. I would try to center it, as best you can, although if you do want to go a little more one way, I would recommend going more towards the front than going towards the side, because you want to be able to see more of that lace. So if you kind of cheat just a little bit forward, it'll still look even, but from the front, it'll give you a little bit more lace. So you're going to pin that right in place. And again, on the other side here. And you just work your way down, making sure that everything is as flat and even as possible, and down to the bottom. Now, this point is where you're gonna wanna look at it from center front and see whether this looks nice and even, whether this creates the shape that you want. Okay. So now we're gonna do our other side of the lace. It's important now that you match it to the first one you did. The first one there's a little bit more flexibility with. The second one you really wanna make sure it matches. Everything from where the actual edge starts on the side, if it's off, it's gonna look like your body's off. So you really wanna make sure those two sides match. So I can see now that I'm not quite even, so I'm gonna raise this side up. And when you hit your waist, you've got these natural points. See where these darts are right here? You've got the ability to see how close you are from lace to dart and match it on the other side. Make sure that from lace to dart, you're on the same side. You also wanna make sure the scallop point where it comes in is similar on the other side. Again, that way the shape of the body looks symmetrical. So next up, we're gonna move to actually spraying the glue on. This is what's really gonna hold it down in place, make sure everything is really flat. You are gonna reinforce it with needle and thread, but this is where you make sure that everything lays nice and flat. I would recommend using gloves only because you're gonna get some sticky stuff on there. If you don't have any gloves, coconut oil will take off any of that gross residue. It's not the fun kind of glue that peels. It's like gross glue that just sticks, so. Okay, so what you're gonna do is go down to the bottom here and you're gonna unpin part of what you've already done. So we're gonna go right here. And I'm gonna spray the back side of the lace. Don't spray onto the dress, spray the back side of the surface you're gluing down. So, and then pat it. Now you go from right to left, and I'm gonna spray this side down. Now, I'm gonna do this whole next panel as one, so I would recommend taking your pin out and putting it right there so you can see where you wanna lay it back up on. And angle it away from the dress. Don't go like this or the residue will go onto the dress, so angle it kind of back like that. Go back up to my points. We want to make sure this is something that you're going to be able to wear over and over again, so we're going to go in with a needle and thread and we're going to tack it all into place so that it really stays exactly where it's supposed to be. Now we're going to go in with our needle and thread, and this is where we really reinforce it. This part here, this is that little tail that I mentioned. We want to fold that over. So fold it, make sure it's nice and flat. You could put some glue there if you wanted, but so take your needle, come up through the bottom of your fabric. You always want to go through the back side of it. Again, I'm using that clear thread, so you're not really going to see it anyway. Here we go. I go in, back down, up. So see, that's going to be 2 big stitches right there. And I pull it through. Then just give it a tug to make sure that you don't give any too much tension. If you can look, if I were to pull this too tight, you see how it buckles? You're gonna end up seeing all those pleats. So after you do a stitch, make sure that you pull it so it's all really nice and flat, especially because we're doing these big stitches, which is gonna save us a ton of time. So you're gonna go all the way through like this, and you're gonna go work your way all the way up to the top of the dress. Now that we've got sort of a short tail here, I could go a few more stitches, but I want you guys to see this. Go down in through the back of the dress and pull it through, okay? You don't wanna knot it off on the outside, you wanna knot it off on the inside. So you can see where we've got that thread coming out of. Instead of completing a stitch, you're gonna come through like this and find the hole of the fabric. See, this is our stitch. Normally, I would just pull that through. Instead, I'm gonna put my needle through and it creates a knot. So you do that twice. Come through again, open it up, pull it through, and it knots it. Now I just snip right here. Okay, and we're done. Let's try it on. Ta-da! See, so we're done. This is really one of the easiest things that you guys can do. It's not only does it only take a few minutes, but you can do this to the sides of pencil skirts. You could put it right down the front of like a sweatshirt, even a trim on the side of jeans, like make a pinstripe. This is so great. So now that you know the technique, you guys can design your own item. Just go shopping, look for lace trim, double scalloped edge, finito. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.